Well, Queensland's popular police wanding laws are set to become permanent after the new government announced their inclusion in next year's Making Queensland Safer Laws. Known as Jack's Law, the legislation was named in honour of Queensland teenager Jack Beasley, who was fatally stabbed on the Gold Coast in 2019 while on a night out with friends. Joining us now is the Queensland Premier, David Crisafulli. Morning to you. Thanks so much for being with us, Premier. Now, Jack's parents, Brett and Belinda Beasley, I know you were with them yesterday, have worked so hard on this. What an incredible legacy they're leaving for their Jack.
They are two of the most amazing Queenslanders you'll ever meet, and through their tragedy they drove change, and we fought really, really hard for this. And to have Jack's Law, which gives police the ability to wand in those areas, that's taken over 1,000 weapons off the streets in Queensland alone. So to have that become permanent, in stone, forever in legislation, that's just such a remarkable legacy for two of the greatest Queenslanders you'll ever meet.
Look, we've seen a number of states and territories roll out Jack's Law or similar rules. However, yet to see it in Victoria, where we know that knife crime is a really big problem. What's your message to the Victorian Premier, Jacinta Allan?
Mon, I don't give advice to other premiers, but I'll make this observation. It has been a resounding success in Queensland. It really has. And the message that they've also done in going into the schools and telling young people about the dangers of carrying a knife, the police presence, the visibility, the removal of those weapons, it's been one of the best things that we've done as a state, and I just can't stress enough how important it is. And coupled with the adult crime, adult time laws that we just passed through the Parliament in the last few days, it's all about sending a message that there are consequences for actions. So you get that bit of the framework right, and then you deal with the early intervention, then you deal with the rehabilitation when a young person leaves jail. But it's got to be throughout the system, but there is just no reason for a young person to carry a weapon and go into a nightclub precinct. That's just crazy.
Okay, I want to ask you just brought up there the adult crime, adult time laws that have just been introduced right there in Queensland. Pretty much every expert that we have interviewed in this field says that crime rates might go down in the short term, but longer term it will be an absolute disaster for the community and also cost to the taxpayer, because these criminals are going to learn how to commit worse crime.
Well, we don't share that view, and with respect, that's been the same advice that the former government took for the last 10 years after they weakened the laws, and crime rates have increased every single year after that. Now, I believe that sending a message works, and that shows in the figures. So when an offender turns 18, the rate of offending falls because the punishment is more severe. So you've got to have consequences for actions.
Okay.
On the other end of the scale, and I mentioned it before, you've got to do early intervention, and we're going to do that in Queensland like we've never seen before.
All right. Thanks so much, Premier. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Mon.